Not by a long shot.
What is up, everybody? What is up? Welcome to the Sports Jedi Network here on the SJG Gridiron Report. I am your host, PGHChrisTv. Man, we have a couple things to talk about today. Wednesday. I'm recording this Friday the 16th. Wednesday, the schedule release has been out for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've kind of already reported, and I kind of, broke some of the rumors about some of the matchups of some of the weeks, but now we have the full schedule, and I'm here to break down that with you guys and kind of my thoughts on what I think. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the news that I reported today about the Steelers possibly getting another receiver, do some record predictions, and I want to talk about something that Peter Schrager said on ESPN, and I'm going to start with that now because I was really confused. So I want to know, does Mike Tomlin need to leave Pittsburgh? That was kind of the topic on Get Up this morning. I think it's ridiculous. I'm one of those people that don't think Mike Tomlin needs to leave Pittsburgh. Look, it's not his fault that the quarterback situation hasn't been great. He took a chance with Kenny. The Steelers organization took a chance with Kenny. And it just didn't work out. The quarterback struggle, that's really what's been killing the Steelers offensively. I think the defense does a great job, and we know Tomlin is making the defensive calls. But if the Steelers were to get rid of this guy, he would have every single anybody, any team in the NFL, any sports broadcasting media company, they're all going to be throwing pitches to Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin will be fine with the job. That's not the point. He's a phenomenal football coach. He is the Steelers. He's one of those coaches that obviously he knows his football. He knows the X's and O's, but I always say this, being a coach is about more than X's and O's, drawing up good plays, good strategy. He has the ability to connect with a lot of these players, and it's hard to get grown men to be able to trust you, and it's hard to get these grown athletes to invest into you as a person. And Mike Tomlin's the best, and the best of the best. He's with I forget with who retiring. Mike Tomlin is now with Greg Popovich from the San Antonio Spurs retiring. Mike Tomlin's now the longest reigning coach out of all sports. So he knows what he's doing. He has a ring to back it up. 2 rings to back it up, actually. I just think the talk that Mike Tomlin needs to be out of Pittsburgh is ridiculous. There's no coach that is going to come into this city and do things the way they're supposed to. The Steelers have only had 3 coaches in the organization consistently. So Mike Tomlin's not going to get out of Pittsburgh. He does not need to get out of Pittsburgh. We just need to figure out the quarterback situation. Our defense will be fine. We just, need to figure out some specific schemes and specific blitzes and man coverages to stop teams, stop guys like Derrick Henry and the Ravens, which Derrick Henry just signed a 2-year extension. And we play Lamar, Joe Burrow. The Browns have quarterback depth. So Mike Tomlin's gonna be the guy to get us there. I don't think he needs to be out of Pittsburgh. It's ridiculous with all the talks I don't think Peter Schrager really said he needed to be out. I think he alluded to like Mike Tomlin's always going to be just good enough to where we're not going to get high draft picks. We're not going to be one of the worst teams. We're going to be a winning record team that sneaks into the playoffs. And whether it's good or bad, it's not all of it falls on Tomlin. And I will have more on that later. That's not the really big subject that I want to get into right now, but I will talk about a little bit of some Steelers rookie camp takeaways. Saw some videos online. Nick Farrenball, reporter, Penn Live for the Steelers. We follow each other. He's a good dude, good reporter. He posted some videos on kind of the rookies during the rookie camp days. Will Howard, looked good. They didn't do much. They didn't do really passes or any tough plays. They kind of just did some light walkthroughs, getting to know the team, getting to know the coaches, getting to know the plays, the formations. Will Howard, kind of doing his drop steps and then kind of reading which receiver, he would throw to, with Arthur Smith back there kind of giving him critique. I like it. I loved it. We saw the running backs, Caleb Johnson, do some drills. They had some good running back drills. The D linemen are really getting after it. We went obviously really D lineman heavy in this draft. Jack Sawyer's looking good. He's the one that stands out to me the most, not just because my biasness towards Ohio State, because with the edge group that they're building in Pittsburgh with, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, last year, the addition of Preston Smith, Cam Hayward on the front, our first round pick out of Oregon. It's really, our defensive front or defensive edge, or, our front edge, it's getting built up. And I think Jack Sawyer stands out to me the most because I wonder where he's going to fit into the rotations. Because Herbig, Watt, and Highsmith are really good. They're seasoned in the Steelers system. Nick Herbig plays some really good ball. My only problem with Nick Herbig, I would say, is, when he needs to step up in big, like when TJ Watt goes down with injuries or when Alex Highsmith goes down with injuries, it's not that he doesn't step up. It's he doesn't play as well as he does in. I think they just put him in for certain packages and a certain blitz, and I think he just does better doing those. But he's a great player. He's a stud. He was a lower draft pick, so those tend to work out good. So I think Jack Sawyer has the potential to kind of fill in that Nick Herbig role. But I think we're going to need both of those guys. We're going to need everybody on the front. Again, we play Derrick Henry twice a year. We're going to need all the help we get up there. So I did see some good things I liked from rookie camp, especially with our new quarterback, Will Howard. Not saying he's QB1 yet because I'm going to get into that subject next, but Will Howard, I hope the Steelers take a chance with him because Pittsburgh has been kind of recently not been taken serious or not, they can't develop a quarterback. No quarterback since Big Ben can fill that role. And I think with Arthur Smith's vision, and again, our running backs and Caleb Johnson, Jalen Warren, he has some good ideas. And I think you could build it around Will Howard, who is over 6 foot tall. He can run the ball really good. He has an arm. But I unfortunately don't think he's going to be QB1. I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. I still think Aaron Rodgers lands in Pittsburgh. But I have a little bit of an issue. I'm starting to think Aaron Rodgers thinks he's bigger than Pittsburgh, bigger than the Steelers, bigger than, these teams. And I'm starting to get the vibe that the Steelers are going to wait around for this guy. The Steelers are actually going to sit here and wait for this man to make a decision. Look, when I'm going to get into the schedule, I'm going to give you predictions. I'm going to run through it. And that's kind of why I'm talking about these other subjects, because that subject is going to take the longest, that, section of the show. But it's not, I wanted to throw this out there because schedules are out. The draft is over. Rookie mini camps have now begun. Soon mini camps are about to begin. I mean, where's the preparation? How is Aaron Rodgers, how are the Steelers going to prepare for mini camp, for the season? How are they going to draw up schemes, specific plays? You can't do the same shit you're going to do with Mason Rudolph to Will Howard. You can't do the same thing you're going to do with Mason Rudolph to Aaron Rodgers. You can't do the same thing you're going to do with Will Howard or Aaron Rodgers, vice versa. You're going to have to make a special playbook for this guy, special type of formation, not so, it's going to be shotgun heavy. It's going to be a shotgun heavy offense. It's going to be a lot of bubbles where Jaylen Warren going out, to the flat, getting yards. DK is going to have good range, and we just don't have anything right now. And Aaron Rodgers, believe it or not, makes this team better. On paper, it might not look the best, but I've been watching this team. I'm 22 consistently since watching it probably 18 years, 17, 16. I've been watching this team. I've been studying the behind the scenes, free agencies, all that stuff, salary cap, all of it. But I've never seen a player that is rumored to join the Pittsburgh Steelers and it takes them this long to make a decision. Look, we're all human. I get it. Aaron Rodgers is a human being. He's a man just like me. He has shit that he's dealing with. He's addressed this numerous times on Pat McAfee. I understand that. But you need to make a decision. You're fucking with the team. Excuse my language, but you're fucking with the team. You're not allowing these coaches to prepare plays, prepare formations, wide receiver routes, schemes, all that shit that goes into building an offense. Aaron Rodgers, you're not helping us. You're not helping us. Either retire or sign. And all these, so the mainstream media like ESPN and all this can stop. Just stop with the nonsense that they're not going to win games. They're going to go 0-6 because Mason Rudolph, blah, blah, blah. Aaron Rodgers, please just make your decision. Tell us, what do you want to do? Do you want to play for us or not? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You're not bigger than the city. You're not bigger than the team. Figure your shit out and make your decision. And look, could the wide receiver part be, could a lack of receivers be a part of the discussion, a part of the topic? Let's talk about what the reports are. I've reported it. I've seen some other reports. The Steelers are apparently in the talks with the New Orleans Saints about a trade for Chris Olave, wide receiver out of Ohio State, number 12. Justin Fields, one of Justin Fields' main man. Look, I'm going to say this. If we land him and Aaron Rodgers gets to the Steelers, you mainstream media guys are going to have to, not put some respect on our name, but you're going to have to think a little bit differently here. He is one of those guys he's going to open up everything. With Calvin Austin and him, with DK out, and God, hopefully Roman Wilson is healthy, put him in too. And you could have a spread formation where you have DK lined up on the outside, you have your tight end lined up, and you have the two receivers, your running back. I mean, hell, have the inside guys go out, open the run game, have little bubbles out with the running back, throw it, gain of yards. There's so much you could do with an addition with a wide receiver like Chris. And And look, he's played good for the Saints. I mean, he's had some big time catches in this league, and I know what he can do. I've seen him in college. I've seen him his whole career. So I'm excited for that one. I'm not going to speak too much on it. I'm not going to fantasize plays or fantasize anything because it's just talks. It's just rumors. It's just reports. But I was told that by my personal sources, not just the people that I see on social media. I see it and then I take initiative and I go from there. But that's going to be that could be a big help. That could be a big help. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on that. I will definitely keep you guys updated on that because there's a lot that kind of needs to happen before that trade happens, but we'll get into that a little bit when the time comes. Now, the moment you all been waiting for this show. The main thing I want to talk to you guys about. The Steelers' schedule is officially out. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. The Steelers' schedule is officially out. Week 1, we will be in New York against Justin Fields. And this is going to, hopefully, Kev, we set up a watch along, do something, but I just want to talk about this schedule. This is ridiculous. So, we got to go play the Jets, play the Seahawks, then the Patriots, and then we go to Ireland. So let's talk about Ireland for a second, right? Thank God, and you can see it right here. Thank the Lord that the NFL gave us that Week 5 bye because they screwed up our schedule so much last season, especially in the end of the season with the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Ravens. That was horrible. That was a disgrace. We had like 3 games in 10 days or like 14 days. Like, it was horrible. So that's a little more lenient that they're giving us that Week 5 bye. Look, record predictions. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go through the teams, and then I'm going to give you my reasons why for now. Again, the roster is not complete. There's still time to, changes to be made, people to hopefully be traded. But let's talk, right? Week 1 at the Jets, we will be in New York. Now, this is a redemption game for Justin Fields. If Justin Fields proves everybody wrong, this game could go really bad for us. With the addition of Garrett Wilson, at wide receiver, those two played a lot together at Ohio State. Trust me, I know how good those two can be. You still have your running back and you still have your defense. The front office is a question, but it's still, you can still see the potential with Justin Fields being great. And that worries me a little bit because, again, redemption games Week 1. I'm going to say a win. I'm going to say we beat the Jets, and then our home opener, DK Metcalf, going up against his former team, the Seattle Seahawks. Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith, Sam Darnold. There's good additions to this roster. The Seahawks made a lot of changes, a lot of additions. This could go either way. I'm going to put a loss for the Steelers. So right now we're at 1-1. The New England Patriots, I'm not worried about the Stephon Diggs addition. I still think we beat them, so we're 2-1. Ireland, Minnesota, that's going to be hard. That's going to be a hard game. Ireland, they're really Pittsburgh friendly, but Minnesota's really good. We saw how underrated they were last year with proving the entire world wrong about, them almost getting the first round, but they got the first round. That is a team you have to look out for. So I'm giving the loss to the Steelers right now. We're 2-2 with the bye week at Week 5. And then we go we will be home in Cleveland, which that will be a win. So right now we're kind of looking at 3-2. At Cincinnati, we will lose 3-3. On primetime, Week 8 at Pittsburgh versus the Green Bay Packers. That's a little bit of a tough one for me. I think Jordan Love's really good. They're going to get Christian back as the receiver after going down with an injury. So that's a team that should have went a little bit further in the playoffs, but injuries kind of hurt them. So right now we're kind of looking at 4-4. Week 8, 4-4. That's not good. We're about at 500. Then we play November 2nd, week 9, Indianapolis in Pittsburgh. Okay, I think we will win that game 5-4. Then on my fucking birthday, on my birthday, November 9th at 8 o'clock, week 10, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be in Los Angeles, California, going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. We beat these frauds last year. Justin Herbert is not that impressive to me. Now, they do have Najee Harris in the backfield. LA's run game has always been great. I'm still not that worried about them. I think we go into LA and beat them. So right now we're still kind of looking at, a 5-5 record. We're kind of still week 10. It's not looking good. I think we could beat Cincinnati in Pittsburgh. So right now we're looking at 6-5. Chicago, that's a win for me, in my opinion. 6-5. Now we go to 7-5. I'm going to take this away so you guys can see that one. Week 13, Buffalo in Pittsburgh, a primetime game at 4:25. That's a loss. Right there, we're going 6-7. I mean, Josh Allen, that name speaks itself to MVP. I don't really need to say much. I think Keon Coleman is going to have a great year at receiver. They're getting a lot of, they still don't have receivers right now, but that doesn't really matter. We saw how good they were without Stephon Diggs this year. We see how good that run game is, that offensive line, and Josh fucking Allen. They finally have an additional quarterback they drafted in the first round out of Kentucky. That team's looking really good. So I'm looking at us around 7-6, right? Baltimore in Baltimore, that's a loss. That is a loss. 7-7. We're still at 500. Week 14, and we are still at 500, ladies and gentlemen. Is this how every Steelers season is going to go? Right? So then we're at week 15 in Miami, or in Pittsburgh versus Miami. 8:15 primetime. I think we're going to go 8-4, around there. We'll be, or 8-7, excuse me. So we beat Miami. Now we have to play Detroit in Detroit. You see how this is kind of frustrating me? Because right when it looks like we're having a good week and we win, we're going to go back to a hard week. Oh, my God, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So we're like, what, 8-8? And then probably an L and then a win. So we're going to go 500, guys. We're going to go 500. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. We could go 8-8 this season. We could. We could go like 9. I think we're going to go 9-8. Then we're going to go 9-8. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing because when you look at these teams, they just have a better roster than the Steelers. And I hate to admit it. It literally makes me so upset that I have to admit this about my favorite team. But the Steelers just don't have depth. On the defensive side, they're fine. I think they're fine. They need to add a corner, at least one more big secondary. I think Minkah Fitzpatrick's best days are over. It frustrates me. It really frustrates me because we have the talent on paper. It looks like it, and Roman Wilson needs to get healthy so we have that receiver depth. It all depends on the receiver depth. On the receiver depth, and Aaron Rodgers decides to come to Pittsburgh. If those two things happen in our favor, I think the world looks at us differently. I do. I truly do. I don't want to sound delusional, but I think the Steelers, if they make moves, they have the opportunities to be great. They have the opportunities to win a playoff game for the first time in 10 years since 2016. So we just gotta hope that the Steelers front office, Omar Khan, Mike Tomlin, just starts paying attention to the things that the fans, that us, that the content creators, the reporters, that what we're seeing. So I think we should be all right. Unfortunately, though, it does look like we're going 9-8. Just with the roster we have. Again, I'm talking about the roster we have with Mason Rudolph or Will Howard being our starting quarterback, with DK being our only primary receiver. That's the roster I'm talking about. Now, if Aaron Rodgers and another receiver, big time Keenan Allen, somebody makes a move, I will come back on here with you guys and I will do a whole other schedule prediction video if that happens. And I kind of dreaded doing this one because I feel like our roster is not complete. But schedule's officially out. Everybody's asking me questions. I figured I should come on here and do this. So it's probably going to be the end of the show. I kind of wanted to get my thoughts out there, early schedule predictions, kind of what the rumbles, what the rumors, the chants have been, been going on around the Pittsburgh Steelers community. I want to thank you guys. My George Pickens video I did got over 1,000 views. So I really appreciate you guys, checking in with the content with football. I know football season's still a long time away, but we had the draft. Oh, one thing I want to talk about real quick while we have a little bit of time. I want to know something. Do you guys think the NFL should have a draft lottery? We saw the NBA get the draft lottery, and that kind of opened my eyes up for an NFL draft lottery, because I'm sick and tired of teams trying to tank their season just to get a player or a top three or a first three draft pick in the draft. And you disgrace your whole fan base. It's like you don't care about the season. I hate teams doing that. I really do. You're not doing yourself any favor. We don't know what Arch Manning is going to look like a year from now. I don't understand it. The Titans didn't know what Cam Ward was going to look like last year till now. I don't like the teams tanking. I think with the NFL lottery, yes, people are going to say it's another money grab event, this and that. Oh, it's rigged. You guys, okay, the NBA lottery this year did look a little bit sus. However, if that prevents teams from trying to tank a season just to get a top 5 pick, you do it. It's better for the league. It is way better for the league with an NFL draft lottery. I will talk more about that with you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching another episode of the SJG Gridiron Report here on the Sports Jedi Network. We just hit 20,000 subscribers. Yes, 20,000 subscribers. We're going to keep that thing growing. Make sure you guys check out Kev. New York Knicks playoffs coming up. Hopefully they'll be in the Eastern Conference Finals. A lot of sports, a lot of wrestling. So till next time, I'll see you guys. Have a good day. And when more Steelers news and information gets broken out, I'll see you guys. Have a good one.